Why are y'all so mad at Diddy, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the things that he did? Because a lot of people will say, well, these people were complicit in what they were doing. They willingly did this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Cassie willingly went on these trips and da-da-da-da-da. That's what they'll say, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what makes it scumbaggish? Anybody?
Tell me more.
The fact that he had power, age-wise,
Okay.
financially wise, he was a fucking boss.
Yeah.
When you use your power over someone,
he was the richest in the room. He was the richest in the room.
That's the scumbag shit. That's when you have control. And when people abuse their power, they'll make you do all kind of shit. Just because they have the power to make you do it.
So the issue at hand isn't necessarily immorality. It's more abuse of power.
Well, somebody who has a lack of morals will abuse power. It goes on both angles. And someone who doesn't have morals will be abused by power. You see? We need morals on both sides.
Absolutely.
Or else you're fucked, especially on the power side. This is why back in the days, and I'm talking like Egyptian pharaoh times and shit like that, like you had to go through certain rituals and all that to prove that you were an upstanding, morally high person in order to be a priest.
I love that.
Or a fucking a politician or some shit like that.
Gang culture is the same thing, though, right? You got to do something to get in.
Well, but you don't have to do something morally outstanding.
That's
you know
true.
what I mean?
It's a little different.
I'm talking about proving that you're morally upstanding in order to be a public servant.
Got you.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, that's
like, what do these motherfucking politicians have to do to show us that they're not corrupt?
They just need to have money, right? Basically.
All they got to do is just convince you that they're likable and you'll vote for them.
That's right.
But there's nothing in them that they don't have to go through any type of training that says you have a fiduciary responsibility to the community at large.
That's right.
To not abuse your power.
Yeah. I guess with money you could bypass all that shit, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. So now you got people that's corrupt, that is into all kind of crazy shit, who worship money. That's the only thing that they worship. Money is their god. And anything can happen in that type of society. And now you're seeing it right now.
You think a life is better lived not paying attention to politics at all?
I mean, you need to know what's going on. You need to know what's going on. At the same time,
bring the mic a little closer to you. Yeah.
At the same time, I don't watch the news the way I used to because it's frustrating. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just hear them lying about so much shit, especially when the pandemic and all of that hit.
Yes.
So I don't watch the news. Am I missing out?
I don't watch the news that much either.
I don't watch the news either. I do not watch the news. I refuse. It's like a toxic dump into your brain.
It really
That's how I view it. So I refuse to tune into that. The
local news, especially those world news tonights and all of those main, oh my goodness. Like the shit that they spew out is such just brainwash bullshit.
And it just brings fear. When the world, the earth is so beautiful and there's so many beautiful things happening, all we see on our television is fear when it comes to reality.
Because it keeps people hooked.
Yeah.
The fear keeps people hooked, keeps them on that screen. Yeah.
Well, I want to talk about it. You know, you talk about homosexuality a lot just because I know that the way you were raised, you know, it kind of goes against a lot of your morals and principles. And I hear that. And we can go in detail.
The way nature prescribed.
Exactly.
Not the way I was raised.
Right, exactly.
The way nature said that only a man and woman can produce life. Nature said that. I didn't make that up. That wasn't something that was just taught to me by some religious zealot. Like, nature said that.
No, that's absolutely true. It's facts, right?
Yeah.
I want to also talk about like how just some stuff about women.
Okay.
So Ruby Rose, do you know who that is?
Sounds familiar. Ruby Rose.
She's like a really popular OnlyFans
Oh, I don't watch
content
OnlyFans.
creator.
I never was big into watching porn.
Yeah. Maybe creating it, but not watching it. Got it. Some
just
people
saying,
like to create, you know?
Some
I get it.
people like grew up like, yeah, Vanessa Del Rio, and they know
Yeah.
all the like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't grow up like that.
Yeah.
I don't know all of that. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I've heard that name before, Ruby Rose. Okay.
So she says recently, and she's talking about capitalism. She says, "You bitches got morals. I got millions." And this touches on, what we're talking about, which is like capitalism, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is a young woman that I have no issues with. But just hearing that, I'm like, to some degree, from a capitalistic mindset, she's right. She has money. But she sacrificed it. She sacrificed her morals. We get that. But it sounds like she doesn't even care. It sounds like in her mind, she told herself a long time ago, I'm going to be a part of the capitalistic mindset and I'm going to
be proud of it.
throw away my morals.
Right.
And I fear that more and more women are thinking that that's okay.
Yeah.
And I worry about what that means for us as people altogether, all races.
Me too.
I worry about how that really will impact us because women, and I know you feel this way, women are such an important part of just human existence. Right?
Yeah, women are the gateway for us all
Right?
into this existence.
Right.
Like, so, yeah, without women, none of us would be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's deep. What were you trying to say with that?
I was just like, when you hear things like that from women of this time period, how do you feel? And like, just what is your reaction?
Well, the first thing I thought when she said, "You've got morals, but I've got millions," one of my answers to a lot of things is, so what? So what? You've got millions. What does that mean? My pops, right? He just passed away recently.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
But my pops was a fucking hoarder.
Mm.
He hoarded watches. He hoarded mad shit. Because he had money to get shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Get whatever he wanted.
Get whatever he wanted.
Yep.
So now what do we have? We have an apartment full of shit
Mm-hmm.
that we need to get rid of.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't take none of that shit with you.
That's right.
Now, I'm burdened with emptying out this fucking apartment right now.
It's harder for younger people to understand that, probably.
Right. Like, so you got millions and you're going to acquire stuff and you're going to acquire more stuff and then you're going to need a place to put your stuff. And then you're either going to let go of some of the stuff so you can get more stuff and make room for more stuff, or you're going to keep holding the stuff and let it pile up, and then you're going to die because none of us get out of this shit alive.
That's right.
Okay? And then what you going to do with this stuff? And then let's just say that some of these books that have been around for thousands of years, that talk about afterlife and, what you've done here on this planet Earth matters.
And will be weighed against you.
and will be judged
Yep.
when it's time to do whatever happens after this life that is guaranteed. You're guaranteed to get out of this meat suit at some point. So if you lived a life, maybe those morals will help you, because maybe YOLO is not real. You see? Like, what if YOLO's not real?
You only live once. Maybe you don't.
What if
only
you
live
don't?
once.
Because you say YOLO, right? You say YOLO as an excuse to do whatever the fuck you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it, YOLO.
Mm-hmm.
Only live once. So who cares? Live it, be happy.
Mm-hmm.
So now, what if YOLO's not true? What if you live repetitiously
That's right.
all these different lives in these different meat suits until you get it right, until you learn that you should have morals?
Wow.
And so, you know what I mean?
That makes a lot of sense to me now that you're saying that. So basically, essentially, what I'm hearing is that you're stuck in this cycle because you're accepting these materialistic things and you're not freeing your soul from moving on to the next level by not being attached to any of it.
I'm saying that's possible.
Wow.
We're not going to definitely know that until we die.
Of course.
It's true.
But there's overwhelming evidence to suggest that what I just said is true.
Wow.
So now, when you take that into consideration, and now you go back to what Ruby Rose said, okay, what would be more important when you have those things into consideration, morals or millions?
That's right.
Because millions I could just print up on a printer.
Yeah.
Morals is something that
It's innate.
it's got to be in
Within,
you.
yeah.
It's got to be in you.
It's got to be in you.
It's got to be in you.